I fixed my broken real estate pipeline in 90 days, and so can you. In this video, I will break down 5 proven systems to fix your real estate pipeline and get 10x growth. You can implement this without any technology or new headcount. Hi, my name is Bryce Finnerty. I have over 25 years in building real estate systems, and I have distilled down everything I've learned into the 5 foundational core systems that actually work and that anyone can implement. Sadly, I see so many people think that their systems are good enough. They don't even know what's possible or what their full potential is. So get out your notepad. I'm going to share some real golden nuggets in this video. The first proven system I call the mindset system. Leaders, you are usually the only one who gets the big picture of how your business operates in the market and how a deal is done beginning to end. So leaders, I need you to define this for everybody else. This is your job, because that as the jobs go below the leader to the second in command, third, fourth, and on down, we find that the knowledge of the big picture diminishes very quickly. Finance guys are just focusing on the finances, and these people are just focused on their role, and everyone's just focused on their role. They don't get the big picture. So here's what you do. Zoom out. Get out of the day-to-day of the weeds of the deals. Zoom out for an afternoon and get that 30,000 foot view, like looking at the world from the airplane. Looks very differently than on the ground. Take a look at your business from that top-down view. I want you to envision a deal from beginning to end, from 0% done, just started, to 100% done, it's completely done and completed. Outline what that looks like in the big picture from beginning to end. Ideally, I don't want you to look at it like a funnel. A lot of CRMs look at things like a funnel, implying there's lots at the top and just a little coming out. In reality, look at it more like a pipeline that flows smoothly. Would a project or a deal come in and flow smoothly all the way to the end in your business? That's what I want you to envision, a smooth pipeline. Ideally, it's more like a ladder. You're moving a deal up the value ladder. Do your clients feel like they're getting value from you at every stage? Try to make it so that the clients feel like they're getting a white glove service and you're helping them do a deal and adding value all along the way. So, you have that notepad? I want you to draw out, quick exercise. What does your pipeline look like beginning to end? What do you see? What's your vision? Just draw it and sketch it out on paper for me. The second system I call the measurement system. You may have heard this, but you cannot manage what you cannot measure. And simply by measuring, you often get like a 20% increase in performance, because now that data is like in your brain and you're sleeping on it. You're thinking about it all the time without even thinking about it. I want you to measure some critical things. Number 1, I want you to get the brutal facts about your pipeline. You had that beautiful vision, but what's really happening on the ground? Talk to your staff, gather all the reports you can, pull them together from all corners of your business, dump them out of your systems, and take a look at all the reports that you have. Do you know if it's accurate? Can you trust it? Are you collecting the data you need throughout the pipeline? Another piece of data I call a document. If you know a document is complete, it can tell you a lot about how the job is doing. So for example, an LOI, a letter of intent. It's a very popular document. If you have one, you can infer you are this far along in the deal. And if you think you're this far along, but there's no LOI, you're probably not that far along. So you might be fooling yourself. Other big documents, like did it go through investment committee? Do we have a lender? Do we have a joint venture finalized? Have we started construction? Have we started leasing? These milestones are critical, and that you can have documentation backing them up. So if you have the document, you can infer a lot about where you are in the process. Measure your documents. Other ways to take measurements, look in your software. They're often measuring things all the time in the background. Look at the roles. Who's doing what? Ask each role, what are they measuring? How do they know where they are in their role? And ultimately, I want you to just try to quantify. Grab that notebook again and just make a quick dashboard. How many prospects do you have in your pipeline? How many clients do you have in your pipeline? Where are all the deals by phase? Try to pencil in those numbers. I can't tell you, I've never met a client who actually knew how many deals they have, had, or had done. They're usually off by a lot, believe it or not. So one thing we do is by measuring, you can get very accurate information about your pipeline. The third system, I call it the data dictionary system. The reason being is clear definitions are foundational to growth. Without definitions, there's confusion. People are just guessing at the definition, or they do it the way they do it, or the way they did it at their last job. So I'll give you a quick example. I talked to 3 investors on the same team and asked them how they calculated NOI, net operating income. All 3 gave me different definitions, and it turned out they were all right. They do have different definitions depending on what costs and income are included in that NOI calculation. So in reality, we needed 3 different NOI fields because all 3 calculated it differently for their purposes. So I want you to look at the calculations you have. I want you to define all the terms in your pipeline, all the measurements we talked about, especially the calculations. Look at the calculation and make sure you defined each variable in the calculation and you know what it means as well. Now my favorite part, consensus. Let's go out and talk to everyone in the company and make sure they agree with the definitions in your dictionary. You might get some good healthy debate, but that's healthy. You want people to spur over these things and make sure everyone agrees to why they have it, and you might be one of those people. Find out you might need 2 NOI calculations. One internal and one external for investors, perhaps. Yeah, if you're also furnishing information outside your company, you probably want to know how your partners calculate it as well. And so this common language is absolutely essential. The easiest shortcut, borrow from industry terms. BOMA and other organizations have clear definitions and just say, we use the BOMA calculation. That's the easiest thing to do. Quick shortcut. The 4th system I call the deal flow system. That's because we want to take that vision and make it a reality so it really is flowing. It might have a few bumps in the road at this point. So here's what you do. Take that vision and plan out all the measurements and your dictionary. Break it into clear phases. Phases are key. By knowing what phase you're in and what documents and data come in each phase, you can infer a lot about the project. If you get everybody lined up putting deals into the right phase, you'll have a much more accurate picture of where things are. We talked about adding value. Make sure your clients know where it is at all times. So you're adding value at every step for your clients, at every phase. Make sure they understand that value and that they're seeing that and you're demonstrating your value to them. If it's not flowing smoothly, it's usually there's a bottleneck, some sort of traffic jam. I want you to focus on your top 2 traffic jams, eliminate those, and things will flow a lot more smoothly. You'll get a lot of acceleration right there by eliminating the traffic jams and bottlenecks. Look at where all the busy work is taking place. Some people call it grunt work, manual labor, I don't know what you call it. But look at where there's a lot of busy work and there might be a tool for the job. For example, I found a group that had a lot of people tracking invoices, almost like doing accounting as a second role from the accounting team. Turns out they didn't need to do that. Accounting was already doing it. They could have just run the report from accounting. Look at where that manual labor is and eliminate things that could be automated or might actually be happening somewhere else in the organization and it's not even their job to do it. That will get this pipeline, the deal flowing. The last system, the 5th system, is what I call the perfect deal system. I see so many people chasing this deal and that deal and what about this and what about that. The most successful real estate leaders focus on a certain type of deal, a certain asset class that's right in their wheelhouse and their customer's wheelhouse. Okay, so I want you, homework, outline the parameters of your perfect deal. Like a pro forma, a 1-page summary. What are the targets on the ideal deal? And then what are the boundaries or the guardrails or the guidelines? So if you wanted, say, you're aiming for a 7% interest rate, would you accept 7.5 or 8? If you know the guardrails or the boundaries, you can either eliminate deals that are out of bounds, or you can work that deal to get it back in bounds, and now you know you just have to negotiate one issue to bring it back into the sweet spot. Also be thinking about who your ideal clients are. Don't try to raise money from your broke uncle. Go to people that have high net worth and like investing in real estate. Or banks, they have a mission to lend capital to real estate. So know who your ideal client is. And then where are these ideal clients and what are their ideal deals? That's how you really get power. If you know what people are trying to do in market, you help them get their deals done. So the last step is positioning. I want you to hook up this perfect deal flow pipeline that you created, hook it up to the right markets, and now those people will value what you do and be racing to get deals done with you. And that's where you get that 10x growth. Okay, well, thank you so much. That is the summary. There's a transcript down below. And if you want to subscribe, we're always talking about real estate systems on this channel every day. If you comment, ask any question you want, I will get back to you personally and answer your question myself. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and let me know how we can serve you better.